friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. Today is Thursday, and that means it is our Luck of the Draw day. So if you don't know about Luck of the Draw, it is a little thing going on hosted from a channel called Nan's Next Knots, and I will link that in the description box below. I will link her channel, and if you're interested, then you can head over there and check it out. But basically, it is where Thursdays she gets on and she picks a number out of a hat, you know, random schmandom number 1 through 8, and you have a correlated thing for 1 through 8. So it can be a specific yarn, a specific colorway, whatever you want to do. I am personally doing a color. So like say number 2 for me might be red. So if she picks red, or she picks 2, for me that would be red. And then if she picked, let's just say 5 was white. If she picked number 5, I would do white. A lot of people have it like specific yarn, so they have 8 different skeins of yarn, and then like say she picks number 7, and number 7 for them is Big Twist Cream. Then they'll do Big Twist Cream that week. And then you can also do whatever project you would like. So most people do a blanket. That's like the most common thing. And there is actually a Luck of the Draw blanket. And you can see more about that stuff over on Nan's Next Knots if you're interested in doing that. I am doing Freeform Scrumbles. So I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me to get to practice Freeform Crochet and kind of dabble into it, because I hadn't done it before. Literally right before Luck of the Draw started, I did like a little practice scrumble. And then other than that, I have just done 3 scrumbles because this is week 3. Well, week 4 for her to pick a color, but I come on obviously with last week's color on Thursdays, and then I'll find out after I'm done filming my video. When she posts, I will find out the color for this week. So last week, if you would like to know what number was picked, you will have to go over to her channel and watch her video. But for me, the color that ended up being correlated with the number was blue. So I made a blue scrumble last week. Would you guys like to see it? I will insert some clips. Once again, I took a little bit of clipping of the process to kind of show you guys the journey, and then I will show you guys how the scrumble came out. Okay, so as I was working on my scrumble, I totally thought it was kind of looking like a jellyfish, and that was kind of a fun little thing. And then as I worked it up and kind of like spread it out more, I totally feel like it looks like a flying saucer now. So here is my scrumble, and does this not kind of look like a flying saucer to you guys? I get that, like, I get the, like, these are like the beams kind of vibe, but then also like the overall shape is kind of like a flying saucer. I'm like, this could be like the circle and these could be the beams, but then also like the overall shape just kind of gives the flying saucer shape. And then obviously the color scheme is lending itself to like space vibes for me, because this dark blue sparkly and then the blue variegateds, I don't know, in my mind this just is kind of spacey to me. So I really, really liked how this week's Scrumble came out. I tried to do some like interesting, weird kind of designs, with chaining and like spreading out the chains and like just going totally crazy with it and kind of doing like, I don't know, designing at the same time, sort of. That's the fun thing about Freeform Crochet. It doesn't have to follow a rhyme or a reason. You can just be like, okay, I think that this would look like a thing, and I'm going to try doing it and see if it looks like a thing. And that's literally what I did. Had no idea what I was doing as I went along. I just kind of went with the flow and played around with it and was like, this seems like it would be a fun thing to do. Let's see what this looks like, you know? So this is how it came out. And I used, let's make sure it's nice and focused for you guys. I used some of my blue magic cake in here, which was the couple of strands that are put together, and I thought it was kind of fun to get a little bit of that blue magic cake in here. If you've been here for a while, then you've been seeing me using this blue magic cake, I've been calling it, which was, I took a bunch of blue scraps, some big scraps that were just like unlabeled skeins of yarn that had come, I had gotten like a big lot of yarn from someone, and there was some blues in there that were unlabeled, and I also had some blues that were like, you know, not a whole lot of yarn, and I just literally took all of these blues and I made a cake with them. I doubled them together and I wound it up, and when one would run out, I would tie on a new color. So I've been working my way through that. And this like almost looks like white, but it's actually a very light blue. With this sparkly little blue is part of the magic cake. And then I used a different blue cake that I have that is also scrappy to do this part. And then this is Big Twist. I can't remember. I want to say Glisten, but that might be wrong. But it's their sparkly worsted weight yarn that Big Twist does. And then this was a little bit of hand-dyed yarn that I have caked up. So, and it has blue with white and then little spatterings of other colors in it. So overall, we've got a blue vibe here, but we used some interesting yarns, some different weight yarns. This one's a 3, this one's a 4, and then mixed together in these double-stranded ones. I know that this white-ish looking blue, this really light blue, is probably a 4. And this like thin sparkly blue is definitely more of a 3. And then this one I would say is probably 2 4s together. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of a mixture of things going on with that. And that is how my blue one came out. And then here's it next to last week's, which was my gray/silver. And it has sparkles too. See if I can. There you go. There's some rainbow sparkles you can see right here. And then here was my first week's, which was this white one that looked like a seashell to me. And it has sparkles in it also, because yes, sparkles. So we've got some gold, and then in here we've got some more like silvery, pinky sort of sparkles. So here are my 3 scrumbles so far. And if you haven't been here before, or you just haven't seen my Luck of the Draw videos, the plan is to make a shawl out of the Scrumbles. So I'm going to be making different Scrumbles every week, using whatever color theme I have as like my inspiration for that Scrumble. And then I'm going to use like a mixture of weights of yarns and textures of yarns and different patterns and techniques and just a whole bunch of randomness. The whole idea is I really want to just get super creative, super like think outside the box and not like follow a pattern for this or write a pattern for this or anything. This is just supposed to be very intuitive, I guess. And then I'm going to basically just form them together to kind of come up with the shape, a general shape of a shawl. But they don't necessarily have to go like, not all the pieces will go like just right up against each other. Sometimes I'll probably like come up with like sort of an idea of how I want them, and then I'll probably do some like chaining and like different things like that to connect them all together. So when I get to that part, I will probably have maybe a couple of colors, maybe one color, I'm not 100% sure, I haven't really thought that far ahead, that I use for the like building of the shawl itself, to kind of bring it all together and make it cohesive. And then of course I will do a trim, all in one color, going around the whole shawl. It might be rainbows, who knows, like one color is subjective, but you know, just something, like I said, to pull it together and make it cohesive. So I actually am not 100% sure how I want to piece it together yet. I had been thinking as I get more pieces, I might start like making some of them into larger chunks of freeform crochet. But I actually was thinking about it, and since I'm doing like specific colors, like let me remind you guys. Let me grab my little Luck of the Draw paper. So here is my number and color correlations. So since I'm doing like specific colors for all the different numbers, I was thinking it might be cool if I like grouped together colors of Scrumbles. So like if I did kind of like a rainbow of Scrumbles, and you know, like maybe the colors changed as they went, or there was some kind of a like method to the madness of grouping together my colors. Maybe not, you know, left to right or something, but maybe even kind of going down, you know, into the shape of a triangle. It could change colors as it goes or something. So I've been thinking about that, because I won't have like the same amount of all of them, and that's the thing also, is it just depends on how many I end up with of certain colors. I could, depending on how the numbers come up, I could end up with like a bajillion of one color and like none of another color. But yeah, so I'm just gonna have to see what it's looking like as we go along. But I am really, really enjoying this. I am super excited to find out today's color, because I have been doing these Luck of the Draw Scrumbles literally on Thursdays. I make my video, I edit it together, I get it up. Usually sometime around then is when she puts up the video with the new number, and I'm like, yes, let's find out what it is. And then I just go and have a blast working on my Scrumble. I spent a ridiculous amount of time for something the size of this. I totally spent like a ridiculous amount of time on it. But I think that's part of what makes it so fun, is I'm not trying to work quickly. I'm not trying to like be efficient. You know, I'm like really just like, I really enjoy taking my time when I'm doing things. I am a very slow crafter. Anyone who has ever crafted with me can attest to that. I take way longer than everybody else does. And it's just because that's really what feels nice to me when I'm crafting. I really like to get into the process. And that's not to say that people who go quicker don't get into the process. It's just a personal preference. I really like, I guess it feels more therapeutic to me, and that's probably why. It's like, I don't like to bring stress into my crafting, because my crafting is like a de-stress. And, you know, of course, when I say crafting, I, of course, also mean crocheting, mainly mean crocheting at the time, because that has been my main form of crafting lately. So I just like took my time with it and like played around with it, gathered up some different yarns, did it one piece at a time and just kind of looked at it and was like, you know what, like, do I want to try this? Like, oh, okay. And I just think it's honestly so fun. I highly recommend it. I know that it seems intimidating. Like a lot of people, when I was talking about the idea, or I've been posting these updates, they're like, I could never do freeform crochet. And I'm like, try doing it. Like, don't have any big, lofty goals. Don't be like, okay, I'm going to make a shawl or a blanket or like a large project. If you're really like, I can't do it, just think about it like, I'm going to sit down and play with my yarn for a little bit and make like a single scrumble. And it may come out totally like not something you like. It may be a total fail the first time you do it. But as I like to say, you have not failed if you try. You have succeeded in just trying. So you can succeed in just playing around with your yarn, having some fun with it, and seeing what you come up with. Put together some of your favorite techniques, maybe some of your favorite stitches, favorite color combinations, maybe different skills or techniques that you've learned, and just kind of mess with it and see what you come up with. And if you guys do play with some freeform crochet, I would love to see what you come up with. Tomorrow is Community Spotlight, so if you do play around and make a scrumble, totally send a picture for Community Spotlight if you feel comfortable. Of course, like I said, you want this to be a no pressure project. So if it's something you're really intimidated by, you don't think you can do it, you think it's going to be so bad, just think of it as something for you. You're just playing around and having a little bit of therapeutic time with your yarn. You're not going to waste very much yarn on it. It's a very small project. Yeah, but if you like how it comes out and you want to share it, I would love to see it. So if you would like to send it to me, and for any other submissions for Community Spotlight, don't forget my email is always in the description box below, and just to put in the subject line Community Spotlight or Gnome of the Month, which is Saturday. So if you have any gnomes that you need to get sent in, I would highly recommend stopping right now and going and doing that, because otherwise you will forget. But I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. If you are doing luck of the draw, let me know what color did you get, or what whatever did you get. Maybe your numbers don't correlate to colors, but I would love to hear about your projects. Now I am going to go ahead and crochet my 2 granny squares for today, since it's day 2 of that 100-day project. Or what was it? Was it 100-day project? 100-day challenge. The second day of the 100-day challenge. So I have to whip up my little granny squares. It'll probably take me like 5 minutes and get this video up for you guys. So I will see you later. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can, and that you are doing well. And if you're not doing well, just remember that this will pass. Before you know it, it will be a brighter day, and everything is going to be okay. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.